So continuing on with the 5 C's, we have cordage. I carry a couple different types of cordage for a couple different reasons. This is pretty cheap. You can get it like Bass Pro, somewhere like that. And it's tarred bank line, number 32 tarred bank line. Works really well for quick tie out, stuff like that, that you don't carry to leave in the weather and stuff like that. It's you can buy a lot of it fairly cheap. This big roll, is the same price as a 50-foot section of the paracord. Now, the differences is I can go down to the creek and I can hang limb lines, stuff like that with this that I can't do as readily with this. This is going to hold up better. I can tie quick ridge lines, stuff like that. I can go through a lot of this cordage, use it for several different things. And it's durable, it's going to hold up, it's weather resistant. If you're going to be there for a little while, this is very useful. If you want to tie a knot that's going to stay when you tie it, more than likely you're not going to be able to get this undone because the tar on the bank line is going to adhere to itself and you're not going to get that knot back out. So this is kind of an expendable roll of a lot of cordage you can get very quickly. And it's very easy to use, but however, it doesn't have the tensile strength that your paracord is going to have. So if you're wanting to tie something up to stay and it be more durable, your paracord is going to come in handy. If you're wanting to tie food or something like that and knots you're wanting to get undone, paracord is going to work a little bit better for that, to suspend something or hang something up from a tree or make a bow drill out of or something like that. Your paracord is going to come in handy there. Also, you have these little inner fibers that you can actually cut and separate this and use this to sew up gear and different things like that, to where you're not going to be able to do that as readily with this. It's not going to work as well because of the tar that's on it. So I carry a couple different cordages with me. This doesn't work very well for bow drills or slip knots or stuff like that. This comes very handy for this. Great ridge line, great for tying food up, different stuff like that. The tarred bank line tends to hold up a little better too if you're suspending something over a fire to cook. This tends to melt. This just gets kind of sticky and actually adheres to itself and holds better. So I like to carry a couple different things for multiple different reasons, and but it really comes in handy. This works really well for shoelaces. If you break a shoelace while you're out there, paracord's perfect for shoelaces. Tarred bank line, not so much. In addition with this, I don't have it with me today, I carry about a 3-foot section of just regular cheap rope you buy at Walmart. And I use that a lot for, bundling up firewood or something like that if I gotta carry a little distance. Moving trees, I usually keep that with my axe. So I like to keep different lengths of cordage, different types of cordage, stuff like that. Either one of these can help you with starting fire. You can create your little bundle. Both of these will burn. Just multiple uses. If you really decide to get primitive and manly with it, you can use this and the inner threads of the paracord. You can sew up wounds, stuff like that. Me, if I have a wound, I'm going to patch it with my cotton material, stuff like that, put some pressure on it, and I'm getting out of the woods. I'm calling for help. I'm not going to take the time to sit there and sew it up and all that and have to go get it reopened and cleaned and all that stuff anyways. But you can, it has been known to be used for that. I don't recommend it unless you just absolutely in the middle of nowhere, emergency situation, going to bleed out. But then again, that's, you gotta be pretty manly to manage that. I don't foresee me doing it. I carry the cell needles and stuff like that for sewing, but that's mostly for patching my gear or clothing if something was to rip. Just a little extra here. These are great for putting on ridge lines or tie outs or something like that, to throw up a quick tarp, hang stuff from trees, whatever. They simply just push this down and it locks into place, grips on really well. Push this to release it and back it back off to open it back up. My wife got me those. They've worked great. They're light, they're easy to carry. I keep them on this little carabiner attached to my pack, along with some cordage. A lot of times if I'm just going out on a hike or something without my pack, I'll throw this on me just because it comes in handy. So many different uses to, I can use this for. And it's quick, I can just, pop it right there on my belt, take off, get my knife. I have cordage and knife, stuff like that. I usually have my canteen on me. And something for just like a quick little scout hike or whatever. Works really well. I've used that little hank of paracord right there. We got down off on a creek bank, couldn't get back up. And I actually used this to throw around a tree and come back down. Threw a few loops in it and used it as a kind of a rope ladder for us to climb back out of the creek bank. So this paracord saved my skin. It's not really rated to hold that. It says 500 pounds, but when you go to putting, 250 pounds, stepping on paracord off of a creek bank, you're running a risk. But it worked out really well for us. I kind of doubled it up and it held and done the job and worked great. I rolled it back up. That same trip, we used it to slide our packs back off of another bluff coming out of the woods, and it worked really great for that too. I use that paracord all the time. I use that majority of the time. The bank line for fishing, stuff like that. If I'm having to run a lot of cord that I don't care about, like I said, one roll of that costs about the same as a hank of 50 foot of paracord, so that's a lot cheaper. And I found so many uses for both. I use them a lot, and that seems to be what works for me. As far as a car kit, I would recommend carrying something a little thicker. You can use the flip-flop method to pull your car. If it's stuck on a little bit of mud, you can pull it out with flip-flop method if you got a little bit bigger cordage. The paracord might work, but you're looking at it probably breaking on you. But as a carry on me personally into the woods, this is what I carry. It's worked really well. I haven't found a situation yet that these two types of cordages couldn't handle just hiking in the woods. So this is what I recommend for cordage. If you know of anything else out there, please let me know. One of the things I'm trying to get my hands on is mule tape, and it was kind of deceiving to me because it's called mule tape. It's not a sticky tape. It's a measuring type tape they use to run cables and stuff with. It's pretty cheap, about the same price as you can get a hank of paracord for. You can get the same length in mule tape, and it's got a 1,500 pound tensile strength. You can use it to hang hammocks and stuff like that up in the woods. Been wanting to get my hands on that and try it out. If I ever do, I'll do a little review on it and let you know how it works. But for now, this is what I use. It's worked great. Like I said, if you have any other ideas, leave some comments, let me know about it. I'll be glad to hear it. And we'll move on to the next part of the series. Bye.